Smfest 2022. Wow, I'm so happy to be here. When I was given this topic, um, cryptocurrency, billionaire tokens, and the rise of NFTs, I thought, because it's vast, there's a lot to talk about. I was given 45 minutes, but it has been reduced. So I will try to see how I can, go through everything as fast as I can. But you guys have to pay attention because, the topic can get very technical. So what do you want to hear more? Do you want to hear more of the millennial tokens, or you want to hear more about the rise of NFTs? NFTs? Oh, NFTs. Okay. Okay, nice. So I'll just quickly rush through tokens. Now, I like to teach. And when I teach, I like to start from the very basics so that everybody can understand. I like to walk you through, like hold you by the hand. So when I get to that point, you say, wow, and I get this. I can actually explain to any other person in my own words. But I'll try to see how I can rush through it. So let's start. So when we hear cryptocurrencies and NFT, what comes to their mind is, man, is to hammer. They want to make a lot of money from it, right? I can't blame them because if you look at these tokens, if you look at these tokens, right? So Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Solana, that's four. If you look at their price when they were launched, so if I invest, say I have $100, right? In 2010, I bought Bitcoin for $100. That's when it became tradable, right? Mind you, $100 in 2010 is 12,000 naira. Right now, it's like 70-something thousand. If I invested $100 in Bitcoin, I bought Bitcoin, right, for $100, with $100. Right now, we're having 4.8 million naira, $4.8 million, right? And mind you, Bitcoin got to $67,000 last year. So if it was last year, it would be around 16.7 million. What if Ethereum? I'll be having 421,000 with $100 if I bought it at launch. The same thing goes with BNB and Solana. So if you want to look at NFT as well, the same with NFT. So this NFT is called CryptoPunks. It was given away for free in 2017. But look at what happened. Right now, the minimum amount you can buy one CryptoPunk is $109,000. It has sold for up to $1 million. And look at this other NFT. This is called Crossroad, right? This sold for $6.6 million. And the man that bought it for $66,000. And this other one sold for a record-setting amount of $69 million. It's called Everyday, the first 5,000 days. So if you're just thinking, well, before this is not blowing, then let's put some money and buy some coins, right? But it doesn't go this way because if you bought Terra Luna, if you spend $100,000 in buying Terra Luna, your $100,000 now will be $0.039. Massive loss. The same thing goes before NFTs as well. So let's say so these coins were available in 2017, 2016, BitConnect, the Billion Coin, CBC. If you bought them then, you have zero. You have plenty of the coin, but they are worth nothing. And the same thing goes for NFT. So this guy, Logan Paul, very popular on YouTube, he purchased this NFT for $623,000. It is now worth $10. So I can go on and on, but it's important that before you actually invest in cryptocurrency or you buy a coin, you have to understand the fundamentals of that coin. It is very important you understand the fundamentals. But for you to understand it, I have to actually walk you through and tell you this is what it is so you understand. So once somebody tell you, man, this coin is pumping, let's go and buy it, you say, okay, let me do my research first. So cryptocurrency is actually the first application of a technology called blockchain. And the aim of blockchain is to take away middleman. So everyone in the middle, how can we take away maybe the banks, maybe the government, and maybe lawyers? How can I transact person to person without an intermediary, right? If I want to give an example, I can use, say, Facebook. If I'm communicating with you on Facebook, my messages are going to the Facebook server and you receive it. But if it's WhatsApp, I'm actually communicating person to person. It's going directly from me to you. So Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency, right? They want to actually eliminate middlemen. And how this came to be, so I'm going to rush through this now. How this came to be, yeah, Bitcoin is money, right? Cryptocurrency is money. I like to explain this by telling you how the Bitcoin started, the story behind it. So I'll rush through it. Just know that money is a tool we use to exchange value. It started with calories, silver, gold. Then we now had gold for a very long time. So gold was money. Nigeria accepted because it has very beautiful properties. Because it was rare, it was precious, it was generally acceptable, it was fungible. And fungible means that these units can be interchanged. So if I give you 1,000 naira, if I lend you 1,000 naira, you don't have to give me back that same 1,000 naira note I gave you. You can actually give me another one. Or you can give me 200 naira notes. You can give me 500 naira notes. I will accept it, right? So it means that it is fungible, right? So cryptocurrency is fungible. That is why it is. And so gold was money, and from gold, we came to what we call paper money. So paper money started as a receipt for gold kept in a bank, right? Controlled by the government. They issued us a receipt, and that receipt became this. It's $20. $20 backed by gold. So if you take it to the bank and you want your gold, they'll give you gold. That's how it was. But a time came when the government decided to say, okay, paper money is no longer backed by gold because they want to be able to print as much money as they can. So they forgot about it being backed by gold and now produced the dollar that is now called fiat. So fiat is more like saying, based on what the government say it is now fiat. And lots of governments can now print money that a lot of them have used it. In Zimbabwe, 1 trillion Zimbabwean dollars could not buy you a loaf of bread. In Venezuela, they printed so much money that you will need 2.6 million bolivars to buy tissue paper. The same thing happened in the US in 2008 during the housing crisis that this had a housing crisis in the US. You can make research on it. That according to PBS News, it said this crisis cost each American about $70,000 each. So someone or some people said, let's do something about it. Let's create money that is like gold. It is limited in supply. It can be minted. It can be mined. It cannot be counterfeited, and it's in control of the holder. That is how Bitcoin was created, to solve this problem of maybe a government or a certain institution being in charge of money. So let it just be like gold. That is the endpoint. And it is possible because of a technology we call blockchain. Now, to quickly explain blockchain, just see it this way. Blockchain is a ledger, right? A ledger is more like an account, a record of accounts, right? So all transaction happens on the blockchain. So so blockchain is an accounting ledger, and this ledger is public, decentralized ledger. The bank ledger can only be seen by the bank, but blockchain is open for everybody to see. It is public. But the thing is this: nobody can actually rewrite it or change it, right? So if there's something called a node. A node is a computer that has all the Bitcoin transaction from when it started to this point. It is connected to the Bitcoin network, and it keeps updating every 10 minutes. To really explain this, what the blockchain is and why nobody can reprogram it. So if I have a node, it means I have a copy of all Bitcoin transactions. I cannot actually change anything there, even the owner. The reason is this: if I change it, the network will reject it. Let me use maybe something we can relate to. So this is an Oxford dictionary, right? And there are millions of this Oxford dictionary around the world, right? Now, let's say, and this Oxford dictionary defines Nigeria as a large country in the coast of West Africa. Let's say I take a copy of this Oxford dictionary, and I decide to reprint it, make my own. Let it just be the same thing as the Oxford dictionary, like the original. Then I define Nigeria as a country in the coast of East Africa. My own is going to be fake. The reason why it is fake is because there are millions of other Oxford dictionary saying that Nigeria is a country in the coast of West Africa. So the same way, if I take a copy of the blockchain and I rewrite it, the network is going to reject it because it doesn't conform with others. That is why the person that programmed the blockchain initially cannot actually change it. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's proceed. Beside Bitcoin, Bitcoin is the first. It was primarily made to be money, but it has a lot of imperfections. It can process only 7 transactions per second. Unlike Visa, Visa can process up to 2,000 transactions per second. Because of that, we cannot actually improve or change Bitcoin. Other coins came to actually improve on this, like Litecoin. It was built so it can actually process more transactions per second. Then Monero came and said, okay, we can actually make your transaction more anonymous and private, so nobody knows what they are transacting. Then Ethereum came and said, we are changing the game. So Bitcoin is money. Ethereum came and said, we're not just money. We're going to be a world computer. We'll allow you to build other things on it, like smart contracts. And that changed the game. So let me explain smart contract to you. Like I said, the goal of cryptocurrency, the blockchain, is to remove the middleman. Let's say these two people are having a fight, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. And me and my friend, Mr. Ansem, I was like, okay, Anthony Joshua is going to win. And he says Tyson Fury is going to win. Let's put a $100 bet to it. What will happen is that I have to trust that Uzo gives me my money if Anthony Joshua wins, and he has to trust me that I give him the money if Joshua wins. Or we can call another friend and say, Aziz, you know what? Let's give you the money. Whoever wins, you pay the person. But we also have to trust Aziz to do that. Right? And Aziz will say, man, okay, I'm going to do this, but you guys give me 10%. Right? So there's transaction fee inside. So what the blockchain allows us to do in this case is that we can just go to the blockchain and program it, saying, okay, pay Jude the $200 that both of us have contributed if Anthony Joshua wins. Or pay Ansem the $200 if Tyson Fury wins. If it's a tie, give them back their money. We program it, everybody agree. We'll now go to the blockchain and we implement it on the blockchain. Now, once we have lodged it onto the blockchain, it can no longer be changed. So we'll put our money. Whoever wins, I'll just use my money. So I don't need to trust anybody. It just happens by smart contract. So saying a smart contract is going to fail, it's like saying the sun. To trust a smart contract is like saying I'm going to trust that the sun is going to set and rise. Right? It will happen whether I like it or not. So we usually say that it is trustless. So that is a rundown, right? So let me quickly go to now. There are over 20,000 tokens on the blockchain, and many of them are scam coins. Others are failed projects. Only a few are actually legit and will grow. So it is very important that you know the fundamentals of a project before you go into it. You have to say, okay, what is the project about? Now, what are they talking about? What solution is it providing? What problem is it solving? Does it make sense? Is this something that is needed? Right? You have to look at that. You have to look at the tokenomics of that particular project. Say, okay, how many of them are available? What amount is the team taking? Is there a way that the project makes revenue and actually add value to the token? You have to look at all this, and if it checks out fine, then you look at the market, and the market, is there a market for it? What is the marketing they have? Should I go to the Niger branch? You can just get some marketing experience to actually market this whole stuff. You look at the team and say, okay, is the team, are they actually real people? Are they genuine? What have they done in the past? And so if all these things check out, you can ask, okay, it's like I'm going to invest in this project. I want to trade it. I want to do become a partner or some things. But this is not also a guarantee that the project will be successful, but it gives you a higher probability. So the there are a lot of ways to make money in crypto, right? I know you guys also want to hear about crypto, but let's talk about NFT, the rise of NFT. Now, I talked about Ethereum that came to change the game. Ethereum is not so perfect, right? Because it processes about 20 transactions per second. It consumes energy, although it has been moved to what they call proof of stake. It doesn't consume energy anymore. But it's not also perfect. So a lot of coins have come to say, okay, let us improve on what Ethereum has, like Solana, Cardano, and the Hyperchain I'm going to talk about soon. But what they allow us to do, like I said, is to build smart contracts. So it's because of Ethereum and projects like that that we can now have NFT. The goal of NFT means non-fungible token. So for example, my car is non-fungible, right? You cannot, I can give you 1,000 and give me another 1,000 back. But I cannot drive my car and bring another car and say, man, this is your car. Even if the same model and make and all that. So my car is not fungible. A piece of art like the Mona Lisa is non-fungible, even if you have many copies of it. So it is unique. That is what it means, that it is non-fungible. So when you bring a non-fungible token and you deploy it on the blockchain, it becomes, if you bring a non-fungible item and you have it on the blockchain, it now becomes a non-fungible token. So the essence of NFTs, non-fungible token, is it wants to help us to achieve ownership in the internet. Ownership. That is what it wants to help us to achieve. Let me just see how I can make that make sense to you. This is Web 1.0. When the internet was created, this is how the internet looks like. You can go there and search. So the only thing you can do is to read. It's read only. You can read. You can actually do any other thing. You can send email though. Then Web 2.0 came out. This is Facebook, social media. You can interact. You can make videos. You can do a lot of things. But it is awesome. It's good. I use it. A lot of people use it. Everybody uses it. But it has a problem. The problem is that you don't own your content. So all the content you put on Facebook, it belongs to Facebook. They can decide to actually take you down when they want to, right? We pray they don't. If you go against their policy, they will take you down. You can get cancelled. And so this is why 2.0, they can monetize your content as well and choose to give you, right? Or not to give you, depending on how it is monetized. Then, so that is Web 2.0. So what Web 3.0 wants to do is that, how can I own my content that is online? How can my content I put there not be Facebook, but mine? That is what Web 3.0 wants to do. So we have things like this. And the market is still evolving. So what I want to do now is, maybe for you to understand this whole thing, is just a rundown. Let's just do a rundown of how big the NFT market is and the possibilities or the applications and the possible application of NFT. Okay, now NFT can be applied into art, music, collectibles, games, sports, metaverse, utility, and financial. So I'll take some of them. Let's start with art. You see this art? It's called Every Day, the first 5,000 days. It was designed by Beeples. So the story is this. It's a guy called Mike Winkelmann. He goes by his artist name as Beeple, right? So in 2007, he was drawing one art every single day. Every day he draws an art and posts it online, right? He did it for 13 years, generating over 5,000 images. And when the NFT boom came in 2021, he put them all together, minted it, and he sold for $69 million. This same one is called Crossroad, right? Art. This guy, this NFT, by the same guy, this guy drew this thing. It's like a caricature of Trump and wearing in his birthday suit. So he was designed and sold to a guy called Pablo for $66,000. So when Trump lost the election, this guy sold this NFT, became valuable, and he sold it for $6.6 million. Besides, there are a lot of Nigerian artists that have actually made a lot of money in the NFT space. Osinachi is one of them, Anthony, Azekwo, Odion, Toby, and they have actually made money as artists and they have made thousands of dollars as Nigerian artists that actually do their arts and put out there. Beside arts, you still have photography. If you're a photographer, this lady, Kat Simard, took this picture in Hawaii. She photographed it. It's called a lonely Road in Hawaii. This NFT sold for $130,000. So if you're an artist, right, and you create beautiful jobs, you can actually create a profile online, start minting your NFT, and you can make money from it. But the thing is that you have to actually brand yourself because a lot of these people actually have brands outside of the crypto world. So it is more like they have built their credibility off the blockchain. They are now on the blockchain to do justice. So beside these collectibles, for collectibles, CryptoPunk was created in 2017. 10,000 CryptoPunks were created, and they were given out to anybody to mint for free. The first day, 30 people minted it. It took time before they were all minted. Now, in 2021, when the NFT boom started, celebrities and venture capitalists started coming for these NFTs. And boom, they now had value and their price started skyrocketing. It's one of the first NFTs. So if you have it, you'll be like, man, I'm one of the first to own NFTs. So that's what gave it that status. So like I said, the least you can get it for is $109,000. Some of them have sold for up to $1 million. Now in gaming, NFTs are used in gaming, right? So when you play normal traditional game, you play the game, you have fun with it, you enjoy it. As a matter of fact, you pay to play the game. But in NFT, you see the characters you use in playing the game are non-fungible, right? You own them. You can sell them for physical cash, right? Now, when you win somebody, when you like in Web 2.0 gaming, when you have coins, you win coins, you cannot withdraw those coins. But when playing this game, you can actually withdraw the coins and sell them and have your naira, your dollar, the one you want. Now, look at this. During the pandemic, people in Philippines played Axie Infinity most. The hourly earning for Axie Infinity was $3.7. That for Philippines is $1.06. And Axie Infinity is just for 4 hours a day. So they were playing Axie Infinity for 4 hours a day. They were making $450 a month. While if you're just working in Philippines, your average salary is $254. So they're actually playing a game. And with Axie Infinity, you can actually, your NFT, you don't want to play, you can rent it to somebody. Somebody uses to play, and you guys share profits. So that is NFT in gaming, and there are so many games like that. Now, in the metaverse, there's no time. There's a lot to talk about how NFT is used in metaverse and all that. Now, let me talk about some other utility. Because when I heard about NFT in 2021, the NFT thing started coming out. I was like, what is this? It didn't make any sense to me. Like, why would somebody pay so much for a picture? I can just mint, man. I'm seeing this picture, man. Everybody's seeing it. So why would somebody go and pay so much for this picture? I didn't understand it. But when I started going deep and started, understanding, okay, it has a lot of utilities, it started making sense to me. So some of the other things it can be used for is in real estate. Now, you can buy a land as NFT in the metaverse. You can also buy a land as NFT in the real physical world. As a matter of fact, there's a project that I talked about. It's called Satoshi Island. This island is carved out in the country of Vanuatu. They want to make it the blockchain capital of the world, right? Now, what they did was they mapped this land out and have blocks of land and sold them as NFT. So when I buy it, I know that, okay, this is like a certificate for this particular land, right? So you can actually go to that country. They will give you a citizenship NFT. You can actually go to that country, develop your portion of land, And when people start going there and they start making sense and people start living there, you can live there or you can rent it out and get money from it. So the land is sold as NFT and you can easily buy it and sell it from anywhere in the world. You don't need extra paperwork. Your identity is just your wallet address. Still in real estate, I spoke with some people in Lagos. What they do is this. They take a property, a landed property. They model the building. It can be a plaza, a complex, a house, whatever. They just model it, right? Cost it, and sell it as NFTs. When people buy these NFTs, they use the money they generated to actually go and develop this property and then pay the people that owns the NFT dividend. And the good thing about it is that because it's NFT, you don't have to wait for, if you don't want your property anymore, you don't have to wait for when they start generating money. You can sell it your own share or your own portion anytime. I've also have meetings with people that are into what they call, they invest in startups. So in the US, there are some startups you can invest in. You cannot invest in if you are not in a particular financial bracket. So some individuals as well have come to actually, they have the money, they go and purchase this investment in these startups, and they sell portions of it as NFT. People can buy it, resell, or use it the way they want. Now, so another one is in fashion, right? How can NFT be used in fashion? So you can actually scan yourself into the metaverse. Your figure will be scanned the way you are. So before you buy a clothing, you can actually test it out. Okay, which is going to fit me? How can I do the design? You do all this, and you can now go to your tailor and say, you can now sew this for me. Another way it can be applied in fashion is some fashion brand don't like when they create a particular design, they don't want it to stay out in the market so much. So when they put it out, and maybe it stays like 3 months, if they are not sold, they recall it and actually destroy it, right? To maintain the class of that particular fashion brand. So what they could do is actually create NFTs as well, and they can sell these NFTs to people so that so they know the number of persons interested in this, so that when they now eventually manufacture it, they can record the NFT and give them the clothing, saving them the wastage that comes with actually producing and leaving out there to know what happens. Another one is a membership, right? Like the CryptoPunks I talked about, people that own it have actually formed membership club. Like before you go into this place, you have to own an NFT. The airline, Etihad Airline, I think, they're actually holding something like this. I want to create an NFT that gives you specific privileges, right? So they can give you first-class treatment when you come to the airline if you own their membership NFT. For fan club, musicians can create their own NFT that they can share to their fan clubs or their fan base can buy that will give them exclusive access maybe to their backstage when they are creating their content, or give them free pass to their content, to their concerts, if they have actually previously purchased that particular NFT. Like I said, NFT cannot be counterfeited. It's based on the blockchain. In attendance, I've attended like some online events where after attending the event, they will give you an NFT. It's called Proof of Attendance Protocol. That NFT shows that I attended this. You can collect as many as the events you attended. So the event organizer can decide to use it to do something in later, maybe to give somebody maybe free access in the future, or you that collected it can say, okay, my children, I want to show you guys that I was here when this happened, and this is the proof. That's been a lot, right? And I've been uploading it. Okay. Now, a lot of Nigerians want to actually just go into the crypto space and make money. I think we should start changing the narrative, because all these things we use, we're using BNB, the Binance Smart Chain, or BNB Smart Chain as it's called now. We're using Solana. We're interacting with a lot of platforms. But we can actually start creating our own platform. We have the brains. Can we look beyond, say, trying to make money from this, and actually start creating. That is when you actually build generational wealth. Somebody builds Uniswap. Somebody builds PancakeSwap. Somebody builds MetaMask. Somebody builds a lot of these things. Somebody builds Binance Smart Chain. Somebody created Ethereum. We can actually start doing that. And a lot of Nigerians are beginning to actually bring their traditional business into the blockchain. You see the way that traditional businesses, right? There's no way now you have to be online. You have to come to the internet. Traditional businesses, you have to have an online presence. It's coming to a time where businesses have to have a presence in the blockchain because it's easy. I have a lot to talk about. I want to talk about remittance, but my time is up. So thank you.